Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Legacy of the Void Rocket Rabbit commentary on YouTube and such as we continue on with Legacy of the Void campaign.
In the last part, that totally foreseeable thing that they foreshadowed only like 2 or 3 to 5 times actually came to pass. And now that it is done,
It was only twice.
like they might as well have set the scene in Blue and Orange Land for a second just to be absolutely sure that nobody would forget that that was totally a thing that is foreseeable was going to happen and did actually happen as forecasted.
Zeratul killed my mother, Artanis. I will always hate him for this. I will always hold him in the highest contempt.
Sad.
Rajagal was corrupted by the Queen of Blades, Matriarch.
Yes, I know that now. Reason has no bearing on
I'm not
emotion.
entirely sure if Vorazun was actually in one of the preamble books or not. I assume that she was, but we don't actually ever get to see if Vorazun got to say goodbye to Rashagal.
If I do not place
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say that
Probably not.
she's probably pretty sore that she was not allowed to have a final conversation with her mother.
I have the keystone you believe.
But as past Gurdet mentions here, I'm not entirely sure if Zeratul ever got exiled from Shakuris. It would have made sense for him to get exiled from Shakuris, but I'm relatively certain it was never a thing that got stated in-game. It may have been in supplementary material, though. But yes, we're going over to Glacius.
We must recover this immensely powerful technology. Glacius facility.
Rohana, you're not allowed to be in the chamber anymore.
Empire ever developed.
We don't trust you.
Site of the Purifier Revival Program.
Purifiers, the forbidden weapon, they were sealed away by the Conclave.
Like, seriously, she...
And the Conclave were dicks, Rohana. We've been over this.
You know what else we've been over is that you need to change the locks on your front door, Missy. She should not be privy to this briefing because if Amon hacks into her brain again, then she's going to learn everything that they're planning.
This is unimaginable heresy.
We are outmatched by Amon's forces and facing annihilation. If this technology may help us, we will use it.
I like how Lieutenant stands up to our Rohana here.
Who's the one with the haircut? You, Artanis. Who's the one who told you to get your haircut? You, Artanis. That's right. Me, Artanis.
Attacking the facility. Amon has unleashed his servants. Ready our warriors.
Alright, this mission in particular is relatively simple, which is why we only need this one part to do it. I do believe that we're going to go over to the War Council for a brief moment. Nope, just going to talk to Vorazun.
Surely they
I mean-
would banned it too.
Yes, they would have, because they were
If I
fucking
was on the
dicks.
Conclave, I would have banned the Dark Templars because they're kind of cheap.
If we are to obtain the Purifier technology, then we must move quickly. The Tal'Darim are preparing to fire upon the facility.
With what, Mr. Carax?
With their brawn and their anger,
With a super laser
which is
beam.
red-colored for story narrative.
Yeah, the Tal'Darim are really into Crimson Blades.
I am first to say
Hey, Alarak, I fucking hate you.
in charge of destroying
Huh,
this
charged. I got you. Like the two ends of the circuit heading from Amon's battery are flowing through his veins and out his eyeballs.
pathetic world. Use your time to withdraw from the system, or remain here and watch your forces burn to ash. I care little which you choose.
And if you actually like Alarak from that one interaction, what the fuck is wrong with you for one? And don't worry, we'll see a bunch more of Alarak later on. I fucking hate Alarak.
See,
Alright. This mission is honestly really goddamn simple. All we gotta do is race Alarak's laser beam to the technology of Volt at the tail end. Whilst we get to show off one of the coolest new units that Protoss get access to for
Reach the vault before
the
it is
campaign.
destroyed.
Come on, Carax, activate them. Come on.
what makes this campaign different than Heart of the Swarm? What makes this campaign different from Heart of the Swarm is that when we were going up against Manx and his lieutenants and his generals, these are all individuals who they may have been aligned in a coalition of shared interest, but they were allowed to retain their own personalities and ego. Now, with Amon running the show on the antagonistic end in this Legacy of the Void campaign, I've come to realize that, yeah, pretty much every enemy we run into is just another puppet of Amon and should be treated accordingly. They don't really have any personality or unique characteristics left.
Let me activate them.
That is mostly true for a majority of the campaign. The Tal'Darim are a small exception, a very small exception, because the Tal'Darim serve Amon willingly.
Right.
So, this is our new enemy, the Sentry. This is our new unit, the Sentry. The Sentry is fucking amazing. What it does is, assuming that my video player will actually allow us to see it.
They're amazing. Can't you see?
Okay. What they allow us to do rather explicitly is they allow us to have a frontline unit, that is also a support unit. Sentries are, as Pascal has mentioned here, absolutely amazing support units. They will, especially once we get the Ire factional variant, allow us to restore multiple unit shields whilst they are in combat. It is fucking absurdly powerful for heavier shielded units such as Immortals and Carriers. With that being said, Sentries are not good offensive units on their own. So it's a bit difficult to parse out how many Sentries you honestly need for a force. Waiting on minerals.
It just reminded me that Ire also shares the vowel sound of a Dillinger Escape Plan album called Ironworks, which is a fucking great album, and it starts on a really strong note. Wash it down! The train! Wash it down!
Okay, so one of the big achievements here is going through the entire mission without having units die to the displacement beam. This is honestly a very easy achievement to both get and to lose, because the displacement beam, despite it being extremely red, glowy, and always marked on your map, moves both really slow and faster than you think when you're not looking at it. So it's pretty so the area that it affects is relatively easy to lose units in.
No, this is, well, I mean, don't stand on the train tracks. Yeah. At least you can see the rails. You have lots of time to move.
And behold, additional solar light.
If possible, we should obtain it.
Now, while you have your grouped units on attack move, your sentries will primarily focus on healing your units as opposed to attacking other units. This is a really good thing because they're better at healing other units than they are at attacking units. The thing that you'll want to note, though, is that sentries also are one of the few grounded units that Protoss get that can shoot up. So if you've got warp gates, if you've got warp prisms that you need to take down, sentries are actually a viable option to take them down. More sentries. There are also a bunch of sentries scattered across the map because, well, sentries were one of the primary projects of the Purifier program that was here. There are also a bunch of these smaller Tal'Darim encampments that you can take down. And in fact, one of the achievements that we won't be going for is taking down the 3 Tal'Darim Nexi that are scattered around the map. The main reason we're not going for it is because you don't strictly need to do it at all, and the only real benefit you get for taking them down is making it so that the attacks on your home base are significantly less frequent. But we're going to be finishing this mission in this part, so we don't really need to worry about attacks on our home base.
Yeah, we are motivated to just keep moving forward. We have the world's slowest moving catastrophe sweeping through the map as we speak. It is indicated by the flashing red beacon that is moving from the center to the right middle of your mini-map. And it's snaking across.
Must generate more
it's going to snake across. Okay, it has rounded the bend, and now it's going east. Jesus Christ. It is kind of ridiculous how slow that thing is moving, but I get it. And I hope they only do this once.
Alarak's warriors have established a large
Woohoo!
stronghold here. Templar, pull back. We do not have time to engage this base.
Yes, we do. Thanks to orbital strike, we can at least damage a good portion of their reinforcements, and then we can use blink paired with our sentries in order to actually make it so our stalkers survive.
I think our forces are looking for some excitement, Alarak.
I said to make it so our forces actually
I've
survive.
been watching their endorphins flow through their veins. It appears to me that they are liking this hierarch. Perhaps we should send them tickets and a little spending money.
So yeah, I took a fight that I really shouldn't have, despite the fact that normally that fight would have actually gone in our favor pretty significantly. I'm not entirely sure why we lost that fight, to be perfectly honest. I mean, there wasn't really all that much there. We used orbital bombardment somewhat appropriately.
Question, are these pathways so narrow that you'll be unable to send like a reinforcement past the laser once it reaches a certain point?
No. To be perfectly honest, as long as you're using primarily stalkers, you'll be able to reinforce pretty much anywhere on the map that you have vision.
Right, because we could just beam in pylons wherever we like. Well, that's good. It is kind of weird.
What we're looking for now is the additional solarite, because there are 3 solarite crystals available on the map, and I need this, and I want the solarite research in order to make the Spear of Adun slightly better.
Base?
Oh no, our
Under
base is
attack
under
with what?
attack. We have got a couple of photon cannons up there already, so they should be fine. I was thinking that the displacement laser was going to take down that pylon, but it didn't.
Hey, you. Stab it. Stab it. Little mosquito bite.
It's like a mosquito bite, but with less buzzing noises.
Huh. Instead of aiming at where I was, you should have been aiming at where I was going to be.
Yeah, leading your shots is very important. I could have sworn that one of the solarite crystals was down here, but no, this is just an outpost.
It's coming right for us. Get out of the way.
Very slowly.
Oh, I imagine.
All right. I should have taken down that pylon here to make it easier to reinforce with like either immortals or sentries, but that's what the ability to warp in pylons is for. Woohoo!
Yeah, just whatever you do, just don't put your pylons on the path of the laser. You can see where the laser is going to go before it happens.
If you actually bother to pay attention to your mini
So what is it, like instant annihilation?
All right, trying this fight again.
Is there a fixed damage on that laser that's beaming down on the planet?
It is. It is not actually enough to one-shot a majority of structures. But if your structures are in the path for it, they're going to get killed because it's a very slow laser.
Right. It takes time to cook, but we're talking about stationary objects, so yeah, they're not going to get out of the way in time.
You'll notice that the Tal'Darim are using a bunch of phoenixes. I hate phoenixes. That is all I have to say about that, though. Use the Centurion's Dark Coil while it's available.
Leave nothing behind, warriors.
I don't remember why I decided to take down this this particular base. I'm pretty sure all I'm really here for is looking for one of the solarite crystals. But none of the solarite crystals are actually inside the Tal'Darim bases.
Oh, they're mineral
So
filled.
this is mostly us wasting time. My bad.
Well, what it's going to do, you're building insurance. Because, I mean, if you lose, God forbid you lose all of your forward units, so then you would have to start from the beginning, and then you have to go back through all these bases.
Well, you don't have to go through this base at all. You can ignore a majority of the encampments on the map. Like the speed run for this mission specifically is generating, I think it's 6 of either the Zealot or the Centurion, and then microing your sentries effectively around the warp prisms that show up, because there's upwards of 10 sentries on the map that you get to rescue.
Stalker starts pulling out its camera and winding it up. No, 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 put that away, you silly bastard.
Blink into
Boom!
combat.
It's party time, baby.
Oh, we lost our pylon because it got it went into the path.
Wait, what do you mean
laser.
went into the path of the laser?
I put it in the path of the laser like an
Exactly.
idiot, okay? But yes, as I show off right here, by taking down this pylon, we open up a reinforcement path that we can use if we had actually bothered to take down the first of the Tal'Darim pylons that were powering Null Gates, but we did not. Yes, in the next episode, I thought this was a one episode mission, but in the next episode, we'll be finishing off our dealings with Mr. Laser.
Laser. Intel Dareem.
Send me a beam.
Very well.
All right, be safe, everybody.
Bringing nearby sentries online.